This is Leonor.
What do you mean it's Roa? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Roa.
Hey everyone, this is Cardfight, finally bringing you the first match of the Set 13 meta, and we've got a pretty good banger here coming out today. We've got Lianorn on the right, and of course on the left we do have my teammate, actually, Ryuki. We haven't seen him in a while on the channel, but he is going to be piloting the new deck for us, at least in the English format, Mushiking. Of course, it was just released in Set 13 in English. JP has had it for quite a while in their meta. So let's see if Mushiking is still good in this Set 13 meta, going up against what I would say is one of the big three, that being, of course, Lianorn. Anyways, getting into the match, we do have Lianorn, of course, playing the rural ride line, getting the grade 1, and then Mushiking riding into its grade 1. You don't actually get to draw a card for going second, which is a slight downside for the Mushiking deck, but we do see the ability of the crest, which when it's activated, you do search your deck for the 3 different order cards and you place them into the order. So very nice, a deck thin of 3. If you actually want to learn how to play this deck, Mushiking, I do have a video up on the channel already, so I would recommend go take a look if you're at all interested. Anyways, we do see a very traditional Mushiking style here, just going for 3 grade 3s all in the front row. Going to be taking the first swing, which is going to hit into a defensive heal trigger, but of course defensive triggers mean essentially nothing to Mushiking, as this last grade 1 is going to be swing for 23 with the help of the order card, meaning that hits over 15k shield, and if we hadn't hit that defensive, we probably would have had to take it as well. Thankfully, we didn't see anything on the Vanguard's drive check, so we are going to be just going into grade 2 with just 1 damage. So we do see Leonor riding into the grade 2 Rora, which personally in my build of Leonor I find a little bit cloggy. Don't get me wrong, like calling 2 tokens is really good, but at the same time, Leonor has like a lot of good rear guards that you would prefer to have, and having a plant token kind of just clogs up the board sometimes. Anyways, we do see the Mistkark habitat being played there, just adding or calling that grade 1 there, which is going to be very good during our next turn as we swing at the Vanguard for 15. And then, of course, looks like we're going to be swinging the other column, which is now 23 at the Vanguard as well. So I think that this here is a very crucial misplay. I haven't made a how to beat Mushiking deck video yet, but here is a little preview. If you want to beat Mushikings, get rid of their grade 1 rear guards. You do have to remember that they only have 4 copies of the grade 1 rear guard, and even though it is searchable, as soon as you get rid of all of them, then you don't kind of have to worry about anything. I think that the biggest way to beat Mushiking is you have to just swing into their rear guards. Like, unironically, you just have to, it's not even about damage denying them, it's just more about getting rid of their ability to use it, because we are actually going to be seeing here a hard punish for attacking the Vanguard using the grade 1 skill to counterblast 2 and persona blast in order to actually get a drive check on this 31k swing here. We do get a defensive there, but of course the grade 2 also going to be getting another 10k, meaning it's still hitting over defensive. I personally think in that situation we should have committed that 15k guard to guard the Vanguard, because there's no real reason to take the Vanguard swing. It is going to be this weakest swing of all the attacks for their grade 2 turn. I will say that like the Vanguard swing until they get to grade 3 is always just going to be the weakest, because assuming they have other Mushis to call, they're going to want to commit the orders for them and not actually their Vanguard. As we did see here, the 2 orders played were being used on the rear guards and not the Vanguard itself. Anyways, Lianorn finally riding up into grade 3, using its skill to counterblast 1 and draw a card, and then of course calling down the Luster Dragon and calling another copy of the grade 1. Very nice card, definitely one of my favorites. I think, let's see, in this situation, maybe you put the plant token in back, because even though Leonor is going to get boosted here to 43k, if we had boosted with the token, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It would have been 38. Leonor is always going to be big, But the real issue with this is I would leave the plant token in the back row because you don't want to risk it getting attacked into, because Lianorn is a deck that does actually need board presence in order to do things, and if your things get attacked into, then you're in a little bit of a problem. We did see a very dry drive check there. Was a Rosium Fairy, Vivace, and a Misty Arc Habitat hitting into a defensive draw trigger, but this other swing is going to be for 30 because the Luster Dragon does get an extra 5k, and then of course during the end phase here, we are going to be retiring both of these grade 1s in order to draw 1 card for each one, hopefully drawing into better defenses because we already have 2 blank shields in our hands, so we're gonna have to take this Mushiking, and Mushiking is very aggressive and hits pretty much over every single defensive, so you're kind of banking on one at this point. And like you see, there's a plant token in the front row. If that had been in the back row, it wouldn't be vulnerable to attacking into. We had the 2 grade 1s that would have been, you know, disappearing, so there's nothing left to attack into, and you also do prevent yourself from getting damage denied, which is not a huge problem here. But we do see the Vanguard swinging in, hitting into a heal trigger there. It is actually going to proc, giving the extra 10k to the grade 2, which makes sense because grade 2 is actually the weakest of the grades in general. And then, of course, using the skill of the order to counterblast 1 at the end of the battle and Persona Blast in order to get 1 drive and restand. So once again, swinging for 23. Very risky here. I think that personally the thing to do is to pass this Vanguard, because if they hit a trigger here anyway, you're kind of dead. As we see 2 no defensives from those last 2 damages. This grade 1 gonna be swinging for a very big 31. If we had hit a defensive there, I think we probably would have had a better chance of living, but as it is now, we're gonna be committing, I think that's a little bit too much. I think we only need the 20k guard because that would have put us at 20 or 33, and that was just like 31, but it doesn't really matter in the end because we didn't have enough shield to block the grade 1. But that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to do things like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.